Hillary Clinton has reemerged to do her first endorsement of the cycle. Who has she chosen to endorse? Perhaps one of the inspirational female candidates trying to enter into government for the first time? No, no. It's Eliot Engel in New York. She said in a statement, "I have worked with Eliot Engel as First Lady, as Senator from New York, and as Secretary of State. Every step of the way, his number one priority has always remained the same, delivering for his constituents." And let me just guess that her endorsement of Eliot Engel has a little bit less to do with her lifelong admiration for his work for his constituents and more to do with the fact that there is a very popular and growing in popularity progressive challenger in Jamaal Bowman. And so this is the thumb that she's putting on the scale, is for Eliot Engel. Like, if you were to have a lab create lazy, entitled, centrist Democrat congressman, they would produce an Eliot Engel. And that's who she's endorsing.
She must feel such a kinship with him because they both voted for the Iraq War.
Mm-hmm.
So she feels linked to him forever. And, Hillary Clinton must be a racist, because why isn't she backing the black candidate in the race? I'm just using the tactics that she used and her surrogates and supporters used on people voting for Bernie Sanders in the primary in 2016 as opposed to her, because they were all sexist, obviously. So she must be a racist.
Yeah.
Problem solved. Engel is an embarrassment. He was caught on a hot mic saying that he would not be going to Black Lives Matter protests in front of a bunch of mics, so he's pretty stupid, too. If he didn't have a primary challenger, he has an enormous amount of influence as the head of the committee in the House over foreign policy, yet he voted for the Iraq War. He tried to block the Iran deal, which was, I think, Obama's greatest achievement, and a peace deal that really, it's embarrassing to be against, in my view, because it was a total win for America and for peace, twofold. And, he's voted continuously to continue funding Saudi Arabia's genocidal regime, just to give you he was one of, I think, 16 Democrats in 2016 to vote for a bill to continue this arm Saudi Arabia. And that just goes to show how conservative, out of touch, and right-wing he is.
Exactly. Oh, and so look, I have a point that I want to make, but I have to give credit whenever possible to our commenters. So there's a comment from ABC that says, "Endorsements equal dictatorships, according to Engel." And I had forgotten, when AOC endorsed Jamaal Bowman, Engel said, "This isn't a dictatorship where someone can just come in and choose the person." Okay, well, AOC is a first-term congresswoman. This is former First Lady, Senator, Secretary of State. What kind of dictatorship is she trying to create where she comes in and chooses winners and losers? What a ridiculous
Sounds like we've
statement.
fallen back into full-blown authoritarianism, huh?
Seems like it, yeah. And that's why, as Emma pointed out, he was caught on the hot mic saying, "I wouldn't even be at this protest if it wasn't for the primary." Like, he'd be asleep, basically. That's what he's saying. That's why he
wouldn't even be in the district. Sorry, go on.
Exactly. Well, that's why she stresses his number one priority has always been delivering for his constituents, because she understands that the thing that's hurting him the most right now is the accurate perception that he's one of the many representatives that just sleeps through a few years raising money, pops up if there's a primary, and not even always then, and that's it. And you never hear from them other than that. That is the fear that he
didn't
has
come back to sorry, John. He didn't come back to his district when, it's the district over from AOC's, New York 16, and it's one of the hardest hit areas, the Queens and the Bronx, his is the Bronx, from COVID-19 in the entire country. And he just was like, I'm just going to stick it out in my lovely home in Virginia, and I'm not going to come home to deliver for my constituents as they die of coronavirus.
Yeah, 100%. And so understand that this is, I'm sure Hillary Clinton will do other endorsements, but right now it's just so weird that the one endorsement is Eliot Engel, and it does put her on the opposite side of a wave of progressives who are backing Jamaal Bowman, a middle school principal. There are multiple interviews with Jamaal Bowman available on the Damage Report channel. You can search on YouTube for that. He's been endorsed by Bernie Sanders, AOC, the Working Families Party, Justice Democrats, MoveOn. This morning, Elizabeth Warren also endorsed him against the incumbent Democrat. And so, I mean, it's not like we don't know where Hillary Clinton stands, but it is pretty interesting to see her willing to risk a little bit of face because Engel could end up losing. But he is
and
receiving...
it's fascinating, by the way, just a quick point about which incumbents the Democratic establishment chooses to endorse, because we're seeing that it's not just all incumbents. That would be too easy to protect their own power. We're seeing that a lot of conservative House Democrats, even some progressives like Mark Pocan, are endorsing Joe Kennedy in the Senate race against Ed Markey, because Joe Kennedy's even though Joe Kennedy's to the right of him. Yeah. So it's so gross. It's just so gross how much the Democratic establishment will throw at the progressive wing in order to stop progress.
Exactly. That Pocan endorsement, like, he's done a couple of things I like in the past few years, but no, done. That's insane.
No, I mean, I get it. They're circling the wagons and they're trying to protect their House colleagues, but it's just disgusting. Yeah. I was vitriolically grossed out.
I don't know if Chuck Schumer has had anything in the past few days to say, but when he was asked about Engel, and he effectively was like, Engel, what name so? I'm not familiar with an Engel endorsement. I don't know what. That was a great moment.
Yeah.
Schumer's like, he's saying Engel and he's talking about 2020, but he's clearly thinking about a future challenge to him and who he doesn't want to cross. Because
who could that challenger be, John?
I don't know.
Could that challenger be?
I mean, obviously I want to say AOC, but who knows?
Same.
Anyway, can you imagine? I can't wait. Anyway, I want to add one other sort of endorsement that Engel has gotten. And this is according to reporting by The Intercept. A Republican super PAC is funding an outside effort to help re-elect Democratic Representative Eliot Engel. The super PAC is called Americans for Tomorrow's Future, a title designed to give you no idea of what they're about. But they are apparently, they're staffed and, funded by Republicans. And this is a reminder that progressive challengers have to beat the Democratic Party and the Republican Party just to get the nomination, let alone to get the seat. And so, think about that. If you're Engel, I mean, I know you're soulless, you don't care anymore, but the Republicans are fighting to keep you in that seat. Why do they love you so much that they would pay their money to get you rather than some other Democrat? And we know why. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.